Hi friend, welcome to your reading. I am energy. I am energy. God is energy. God is energy. We are the same. We are the same. I am energy. I am energy. God is energy. God is energy. We are the same. We are the same. I wanted to channel that sung affirmation for you guys because I am very much leaning into this union consciousness idea that we are all one and we are one with Source and we are all connected. And I think that digging into the energy of the earth, into the energy of God and Source, brings a little bit of lightness to the current energetic situation, if you catch my drift. Happy March 1st. Happy post Leap Day. I'm very curious if you guys did anything for Leap Day, spiritually, emotionally, fun-wise. Leave it in a comment below if you did do anything for Leap Day. I know I kind of took it easy because starting right smack after that full moon, I had some really heavy, intense energy that I needed to rest and recoup from. It was really, really important for me until about, let's see, today's Friday, I guess until about Tuesday or Wednesday for me to rest my body. And so I did. Yeah, and it's funny because I, as I was kind of going about my day, as I was going about, my week, I was wondering why I was feeling so tired, why I was feeling so heavy after the full moon. We were talking about purging, we were talking about lightening up, decluttering. I even personally started decluttering my house. I emptied one of those scary doom closets that are hardly ever opened and really tried to go through every item and was like, do I need this? Do I not need this? Do I need this? Do I not need this? And I took 2 big bags to be donated. But I was wondering why I was kind of going through this pain and this heaviness and this sadness, and I had this divine download as I was driving, and I wanted to share it with you guys. My guides told me, and I feel very strongly it's true, that this heaviness, if you've been feeling it too, and you can leave it below. I've been seeing it a lot in the collective, just in comments and on social media and stuff. This heaviness and this pain, when a woman goes into labor as she's about to give birth and create new life, and she has labor pains, and there is a lot of pain and blood and ending in a rebirth, in significant change. And so I feel like kind of this unexplained heavy energy. If you guys have been having headaches or stomach issues or just have been really, really exhausted and needing extra rest, I feel strongly like these are like the labor pangs before a new chapter, like a significant new start is coming. I feel this really strongly. And for the entire collective, I don't think it has to do with a particular spiritual subset. I know that a lot of people here consider themselves to be like light workers, healers, on the twin flame journey, people who kind of put themselves in a subset. I don't know if you consider yourself a starseed. Feel free to leave it in the comments below, but whoever you are, I think this is a global shift into a new chapter that is coming. I think that it's more than just sort of the spiritually minded. I think it's everybody. And I think that these kind of periods of headache and hello. Everybody say hello to Sunshine. I don't know if you can see her in the frame. My kitty just jumped up. She wants to be a part of the reading. I think that these periods of heaviness, these periods of purging, these periods of sort of pain are transformational in nature. That's the point of that. I feel like a lot of people, myself included, have been having these either significant periods of purging or shorter periods of purging. Again, tummy symptoms, headaches, sleeping a lot, sweating a lot, and even crying, like random bouts of emotion. And you're like, gosh, where is this coming from? I was fine like 10 seconds ago and all of a sudden I'm crying. First of all, do a gut check and see if it's your energy or if it's somebody who might be coming into your energetic field, a friend, a family member, perhaps the person on your mind who you're thinking of, who might be thinking of you as well. Okay, wow, she's really on one and she's about to like try to take out my cards. So can you please have a sit? Thank you. Anyway, do a gut check and make sure that if you're having an emotional outburst that it's your energy. But if you're going through these purgings, I think it's equally a spiritual sort of detox and purge as it is a physical detox and purge. And that's not to say necessarily, unless you feel guided, that you should be detoxing. Allow it to happen naturally. Allow your ancestors' guides and connection to source speak to you about if you do need to change anything in your diet. I know for me, I got sort of kicked in the butt the other day. I think I've been a little lazy in my diet, and I heard a guide pretty clearly say, God, Julia, can't you just eat a vegetable or something? And drink more water? And I did, and sure enough, I felt better. So I don't know if your guides are sassy with you or if you're getting guidance like that, but maybe like do a gut check and listen in and see what they say about diet, what they say about lifestyle. Maybe you need to go to bed a little bit earlier one night and catch up on rest. I'm getting lately, I just know it's certainly true for myself, and for the people that I'm like closest to in life, but sleep and rest are super, super important right now. I really encourage everybody to like really aim for 8 hours of sleep. And if you can't quite hit 8, try to go to bed a little bit earlier than you would normally. Like even just 30 minutes earlier can make a big difference in the grand scheme. There was one more message that I got channeled, and then we can get into some cards. There was I should have Googled this before I started the reading. I wish I had, but there was a book that I read in school when I was a kid called like The Last of the Sin Eaters or something like that. And I think it was like kind of a post-apocalyptic. It was like science fiction, but the idea was there was like this subset of the population that had very special gifts, and they were kept apart from everybody and kind of shunned because they had like dirty work to do. But what they did was they basically spiritually cleansed the rest of the population, and they were like considered ugly and dirty and all this because they took away the sins and sort of the ill deeds of the rest of the population. And that popped into my head with the idea of the labor pains, because it's like when you go into labor, I haven't had a child yet, God willing I will someday, but it can be really messy. I mean, like your water breaks, like there's that goes everywhere. There's often blood. There's, you know, sometimes there's poo, so I've heard. But point being, it's a messy process to bring new life and new light into the world. And I think that a lot of people who have pure souls, have pure hearts, try to live within sort of their good energy, their highest vibrational self. They aren't accepted by society, and it's dirty, painful work. I mean, if you think about when your spiritual journey was kicked off, your enlightenment was kicked off, and how many tears you had to cry, how many sleepless nights you had, how, you know, for me, the pacing around my apartment, the wondering, it's a messy process. It's a dirty process, but it is for a higher purpose, and it's for the good of the whole world. It benefits everybody. And I think during times like this, where the energy is a little bit heavier, we, the light workers, we, the healers, have to remember that we need to heal ourselves. We need to pour into our own cup. We need to rest when we need to rest. Otherwise, we are of no service to anybody, regardless of what that service is, whether it's sitting here on YouTube, whether it's being a nurse, whether it's being a therapist, whether it's talking through problems with friends, whether it's just sitting there listening to people, whatever your calling is, you need to be in good energy in order to do it, because it's bringing a light to the world. Okay, sermon is over. Let's pull some cards. I did pull 2 of those soulmate cards like I always do before the reading began, and they were perfect. They tied right in. So the first one is all about what we were just talking about. Surrender all that no longer serves you. Let all that remains buried in your heart come to the surface and be healed. Let there be space for new energies to enter. A new beginning transforms darkness to light. What was I just saying? Let all that remains buried in your heart come to the surface and be healed. The healer has to heal as well. The healer has to heal themselves, and the healer has to be healed, allow themselves to be healed. Sometimes by other people, sometimes just on their own. Sometimes just by resting. Sometimes by literally doing nothing. Sometimes by throwing on Love Island and laughing about it with your ancestor over your shoulder, like eating popcorn from the other side. Does anybody else watch Love Island UK? It's over now, but it was incredible this season. Leave your guilty pleasure show in the comment as well. And if you haven't yet, I am trying to get to 500 subscribers. Once I do, I am doing a fabulous giveaway of 2 tarot decks. Neon Awakening Volume 1 and 2 from the beautiful, amazing Spiritual Infusion 1111, as well as some intention and manifestation oils and some other spiritual goodies. So please, please, please subscribe, recommend the channel to friends. I really would love to get the ball rolling, give some stuff away, and and give the video a like so that other people can see it and possibly enjoy it and subscribe as well. I'd love to grow the family and just start expanding. That would be amazing. So thank you. And there's a level of surrender in the heaviness that's going on right now. There's a level of allowing it to just be heavy, and at the same time acknowledging that union consciousness. And if you are the same as God, if you are part of the same energy as God, as source, then there is a balance of light and dark in all energy. So it's like accepting what is, but also accepting the converse and allowing it to just flow. I hope that makes a shred of sense. And yeah, there's massive transformations right now. Huge. A new beginning transforms darkness to light. Oh, and the heaviness, the purging, the detoxing, think of it like that closet purge that I told you I did. You have to take everything out of the closet and like give some stuff to a charity shop, a thrift shop, a Goodwill, wherever. You have to make room for new things to enter. You can't just keep holding on and holding on and holding on. You have to clear the clutter. So the purging, the detoxing, as pain. Excuse me. Gosh, my incense is so strong today. All the purging, all the pain, it's for a purpose. It's to clear room for all of the amazing things that are coming. And there are amazing things coming. I've seen it. I've gotten downloads. I've seen it in the cards. I feel it in the energy. It sort of feels like I'm like holding my breath before like the roller coaster's going and it's about to go wee into something really awesome. And this second one is, I think, what I'm going to start pulling, or what I'm going to pull cards on in just a second. It is only normal to miss someone who is dear to you, but remember, love knows no separation. You may be physically apart, yet spiritually you are always united. Those you love are forever present in your heart. I feel like a lot of us are missing people right now, whether you want reunion with them or not. Because some people, I know that some people watching this miss someone terribly, but they know that it's an unhealthy situation that they can't return back to. And that's okay. I think that I'm gonna do like a little side tangent right now, so forgive me. I think that karmic relationships get a bad rap because they are known for being so toxic and low vibrational. But karmic partners are sent by God. They're sent into our lives to teach us a lesson. And those lessons are important. They're karmic. They're a part of the past life, rebirth, karmic, dharmic cycles. Oftentimes, these karmic partners are helping us break generational cycles. So cycles that have been going on since your mom, your dad, your grandparents, and you are being given an opportunity to break the cycle for all of your lineage. That's powerful. And the thing is, the first step to breaking those karmic cycles is kind of accepting and acknowledging that these people are or were in your life for a reason. Whatever that reason it might be. I mean, maybe it was to kick off your spiritual journey. Maybe it was to get you to break your smoking habit. Maybe it was something more serious, like if you have a history or your family has a history of abuse, and it was to recognize, either verbal or physical or whatever, it was to recognize what that is and how to stop that cycle. Maybe it was to illuminate, any blocks you have with money, by setting a good example, by setting a bad example. I could go on and on, but the whole point of this is we've all been karmic partners to someone, and someone has been a karmic partner to us. And the best sort of answer to that is to sort of gut check with yourself, say thank you to that person, and do what's best for you and your mental health. I think a lot of people, if someone is really important in our lives, we want to label them as, we want to label them, period. And sometimes it's helpful and sometimes it's not. So so if you're missing somebody, but you know that they aren't good for you, or you know that you let them go for a reason, that's okay. And you can still miss them. That's part of acceptance and surrender. And that's giving it, that's giving it over to God, and that's being in union consciousness. They'll always be a part of you, and you'll always be a part of them. I'm actually going to start with the Neon Awakening Volume 2. Can you show me what the, oh no, thought my bracelet snagged my shirt. Can you show me what the collective needs to know about the current energy right now? Same card as last time about transformation. Transformation isn't a future event. It is a present day activity. What was I saying about transformation being huge right now and purging, detoxing? I wouldn't be surprised if the 6th house comes out. The 6th house is Virgo energy, and it's the house of physical health and daily routines. Some of you may have adjusted a habit, a good habit, a bad habit, or diet, or drinking more water, or whatever you've done, or just adjusted your daily routine a little bit, tweaked it. I wouldn't be surprised if that energy came out, because I do really feel it in that transformation card. This transformation is going to add up over time, and I do sense it's going to be very, it is going to be a dramatic transformation, but I don't think it's going to be quite as explosive as the energy that I was picking up from your person in the last reading. I feel like for you, collective, whatever transformation is happening for you, it's going to be a bit more of a slow burn energy. Let me see what fell out here. Oh, what did I say? This is the World card. It's all about completion, vindication, closing out cycles, possibly karmic cycles, some kind of achievement, fulfillment. It can also be receiving communication, but it is sort of this victorious finish line energy, and I love that for us. So all of these little things that you are doing, they are going to add up. They are going to validate and vindicate, get you closer to your goals, whatever those goals may be. What can the collective know about these big changes that are happening, that are coming through for them? I just heard God's plan. So God may have a plan for you that you really like have no idea about yet. You may not try to be funny, but like there may be a pivot so hard that your head kind of spins, whether it's career, whether it's hobby, whether it's a living situation. Some of you like, some of you may have recently moved, but you're gonna have to move again, but the way that it's gonna work is gonna be like way, way, way better than if you just kind of stuck it through and doubled down with the first move, if that makes sense. Some of you might be getting a new car. If so, congratulations. And some of you might like find a new passion or hobby that takes you in a completely different direction that you never would have thought in a million years. It might be spiritual in nature. It might not. It might not. It might be creative. It might not be. My roommate, when I was in college, she was an English major. She loved to read, and she's still a dear friend of mine. And she always kind of considered herself, you know, more right brain, more creative, but she always had this type A personality. I just knew. I was like, she's gonna wind up doing something a little bit more like hardline somehow, like an editor or something. Well, I had no idea she would find a passion for accounting, and she just totally like switched gears when she got in the workforce after school, and she became an accountant. Total left brain, total pivot. Like I thought she was gonna work for a greeting card company or a magazine or as an editor or something, and she wound up being a numbers girl. And it was funny because it's like I kind of sensed that, but I also never would have guessed. So you may pivot in a similar fashion. Show me, please. What is the collective experiencing on their path to this change? What is the collective experiencing on their path to this change that they need to know about or they need to look out for? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. This is Proverbs 1, chapter 1, verse 7. And the 7th house of partnership. Someone is full of regret. This may be romantic, it may not be romantic. It may be career, because the 7th house is not just romantic partnership, it's also business partnerships, and legal ties to someone, contracts. But there's definitely a feeling of regret here. And an understanding of something bigger. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. I feel like somebody is feeling really foolish. Whether it was because they went through something very hastily, whether it was because they didn't see your value, whether it was because they didn't see the larger picture. There's someone who was very close to you, who you felt partnered with, who is really regretting something. Really regretting their actions towards you. Regretting parting ways from you. If something fell through, that person feels like they should have fought for you, fought for the situation. Judgment. Yeah. The thing about judgment, so judgment is justice, but in the spiritual realm. So justice is balancing things out in the mundane, in the real world, in the 3D. Judgment is that sort of karma in the 5D, balancing things out. But the thing about judgment is also, it's about time. There is a sense of divine timing, but there's also with judgment day is coming whether you're ready or not. And with judgment, I kind of get this feeling of like the time is now. In the Neon Awakening Volume 1, it's a lightning. It's a bolt of lightning, and it feels like lightning is about to strike. It's like that kind of timeliness. It can be an announcement or another communication indication, renewal, a cycle ending or beginning. Sunshine, can you not interrupt, please? Her little scratcher is right there, and she's really choosing right now to do the most and interrupt things. She's a very active cat these days. Anyway. Yeah, and it's a level of karma. Judgment and the world coming out, that is not insignificant. When I told you that transformation was happening, this purge, this detox, this kind of heaviness that you're feeling is labor pains for a rebirth, I'm just saying the cards are carding, the vibes are vibing, it's all lined up. Show me what we need to know about this energy. What is it for? What is it all for? What is this change about? What is this change about? Some of you may be coming into a new romantic partnership, though. That's very much here. A new romantic partnership or a very different romantic partnership with your person. Yeah. Uranus is here. Aquarius energy. And Uranus is, I call it the chaos planet. That's me being a little bit sassy, but not by much, because Uranus is all about unexpected change, innovation, rebellion, sudden seismic shifts and unpredictability. But it's also about a sense of freedom. And I do feel like, I feel like some of you guys have been in this healing state for a while, actually. Months. And I feel like your guides and God and they're wanting to kind of like shake you out of your healing cocoon a little bit. Yes, you know, when you come out of the cocoon, there's a period where the butterfly's wings have to dry off, of course. But it's like sometimes when baby birds are in the nest, the mom kind of like knocks them out to test and see if they can fly. And it's like, honestly, to me, that's like a little harsh, but like that's nature, right? Uranus is like that element. And the freedom is the baby bird being like, oh my God, I can fly. And the rebellion is the mom being like, watch this. So I feel like this transformation, you may not have been expecting it. It might seem almost random, or it may hit you very suddenly, but really it's been building for a while. And if you listen to your body very carefully and you listen to your intuition, if you aren't meditating or praying, definitely do so for at least 5 minutes a day, preferably more, but I know that for some people time is really tight. If you can only do it before bed, do it for 5 minutes before bed as you're laying there about to fall asleep. It's also amazing if you can do it first thing in the morning. Be super, pray from a place of gratitude, meditate from a place of gratitude. But it's really important to have those few moments of silence so that you can really hear what your ancestors, your spirit guides, God is trying to tell you. Don't let your mind speak over messages from the ethereal realm. Especially if you're meditating, because that's when those downloads will come. And oftentimes they are soft, but they are persistent. The mind will be loud and changeable, quickly changeable. Your intuition will tell you the same thing for weeks, months, very softly over and over again, and the mind will change every minute, every hour, every day, and be very intrusive. Can be very intrusive. Show me what's coming for this collective. What does the collective need to know about the current energy? And then we can get into what's coming in love and romance. One more time. What's coming for this? What does the collective need to know about this current energy? This current energy of transformation and change. Whoop. Gosh, 2 fell out. Yeah, the Hermit is here and the Empress. Yeah. Look at that beautiful Empress. One eye is closed and one eye is open. And that's that divine feminine energy, that energy of abundance. And it's like I said at the beginning, there is sort of a theme here of pregnancy, a pregnant pause before something happens, a sense of anticipation and waiting. Here's this Hermit card as well. This is Whitney's, one of her favorite cards in the deck. Whitney made this deck and I helped her a little bit. And with that download I had that I shared at the beginning of these kind of like labor pains, preparing us for this sort of rebirth and this massive shift, this seismic shift. Some of this may be literal for some of you. Some of you may be getting pregnant or having a child or adopting a child or merging families. But for some of you, it's like the birthing of an idea, a career, a new start, a new future. And it's like the creation of this abundance and whatever it is your calling is it's like a fresh start. And it's like, it's what you've been in this hermit mode, gaining this higher perspective is all to serve whatever is coming. I feel like whoever is watching this video right now, it's like you've known that like something is changing and you've been kind of preparing for it for a while, but you haven't been entirely sure like what it is. And that's because it's like, where was that card earlier? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. It's like God's been preparing for you for this moment and this change and this path, but you haven't even been clued in on what it is. You just know that like something's coming and it's going to be great. Yeah, Pluto's at the bottom of the deck. Planet of sex, death, and transformation. Can't get more literal than that, huh? Yeah, and the moon is right underneath that. You've known this is coming. Look at her. I just think she is like so gorgeous. The moon is all about the subconscious and that divine feminine energy as well, and cycles as well. Okay, so I'm gonna keep using this deck. Actually, it's so beautiful and I just find it so helpful. What does our beautiful collective need to know about, we'll just say, the person on your mind? Doesn't have to have a particular label or a particular outcome. In fact, I'd suggest it's better if there is no desired outcome, because then that allows you to detach and allow in what's meant for you, what's truly meant for you. That's what people don't get. I'm about to go on a tangent again, but it's my channel. I'll go on a tangent from time to time. If you need to manipulate the energy in order to keep someone, it's not meant for you. That's the thing about like people get really like worked up about spell work and black magic and, oh, someone's bewitching my person. Well, if it's not meant to be, it'll fall apart. Because spells don't stick if it's not meant to work out. You know, manipulation can only work so far if there's nothing, you know, if there's no foundation. And also, I'm a firm believer that God supersedes all of that. Because again, it's like there is an element of God's intended and desired path for you. Of course, we all have free will. Of course we do. And if someone, you know, if someone, you know, decides that like they want to stay in their low vibration, they don't want to grow, they just want to sit on the couch and eat chips and drink soda or beer all day, and that's how they want to live their life, then they're not meant for somebody like you who's so growth focused and whatever. It's like, so then God's like, okay, listen, sis, sorry, Joe is sitting on the couch, you know, eating beer and drinking chips. So he's no longer meant for you, and I'm gonna bring in somebody else. Because it's God, and we are all one, and God can do that. So I think the more that we can flow, the more that we can be flexible, the more that we can allow what's meant for us to find us, the better we are. Look, my card wanted to come out. I love that I got to be a part of this deck. It just makes me so happy. It makes me smile, and I just love that quote so much. So yeah, I think the more we can detach from a particular outcome, the more that we can sort of be at peace and trust in our higher power, that what's meant for us is going to find us, the better off we'll be. So this is what wanted to come out in terms of love. I love this. First card out, House of Communication. If you are in a no contact situation, things are about to change. I kind of don't want to say much more than that, but somebody wants to come see you. Somebody may pop up on you. It says local travel on this card. And she's like on the phone. Somebody may pop up on you. Somebody may literally like show up at your doorstep. So be aware, tidy up, I don't know, but also live your life, because what's meant for you will happen. Or if you are in touch, somebody may want to have an open, honest conversation with you in an entirely new way. And yeah, the 7th house is here as well, which is the house of partnership. We saw this earlier. This energy's been coming in really heavy, which is why I said that, like, some of you may be hearing from your person if you're in a no contact situation. Some of you may be starting something new with your person if you're in low contact or minimal contact or spotty in and out contact. There might be a renewal. Ooh, that tea is good. Yeah, the word that came to mind was renewal. There might be a renewal of commitment or some of you may be renewing your vows, your wedding vows, if you and your person were married previously. Because there's been this upgrade of wisdom. Lesson learned, leveling up, divine downloads, wisdom through experience. Yeah, like if you've been in a sense of separation with somebody during the time apart, the experiences they've had have taught them really valuable lessons, and it's brought them closer to God. It's brought them closer to you, and there's a deep inner knowing now of what is meant to be. And I feel very strongly for some of you that I'm like trying to put what I'm like seeing into words, so bear with me while I put those puzzle pieces together. This person is going through a forced spiritual awakening, and they're being confronted with a lot of like sign synchronicities, like big neon flashing arrow signs that are pointing right at you. And it's getting to the point where they can't deny, they can't ignore, they have to start moving forward. They have to. It's being forced upon them. Because I feel like with that judgment and world energy that was in the energy earlier, it's like there has been a level of karma that has been hitting this person, whoever it is. And if the person on your mind is not a romantic person, then take this how it works for you. Maybe you and a family member had to part ways for whatever reason. Addiction just kind of came through. Maybe somebody's suffering from an addiction, and so you've had to distance yourself from them. I know a lot of you are thinking of a romantic person, but I'm just saying that it may not necessarily be that. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him. He helps me. My heart leaps for joy. This person does have hope for some sort of reunion with you. I feel like they've been holding on to this hope for a really long time for some of you. And I feel like it's something that they keep very close to their chest. It's like a little secret that they keep for themselves, and it's like they think about it when they're alone, and they're like, oh, when I can tell them everything, when we finally come back together, when I can touch them, when I can hold them, you know, when I can just be honest with them and tell them what happened. It's like there's this sense of hope, there's this sense of like intimacy, even though some of you may be physically far away, but some of you are just very emotionally distant. Like I said, some of you are in like total no contact situations, and others are kind of like in a rickety union or talking but not being honest. Whatever your situation is, this person has hope for like a beautiful relationship together. And my card Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. This person admires you. They are like lovesick over you. Like they see your greatness, and if they tried to find, you know, what you've got going on in somebody else, it like pales in comparison. Mediocre is what's in the quote. I sometimes joke with my friend. It's like comparing a Michelin star filet mignon to the 7-Eleven roller dog that has been there for a day and a half since yesterday at the back of the roller rack at the gas station. It's like, yeah, I mean, sometimes you're in the mood for a gas station hot dog, but like, you're really gonna take that over a 5-star steak? Okay. You can't even really compare them. But yeah, it's like, there may have been some people who have been trying to like do what you do, imitate you, but it's like I just really feel like it's just your essence, it's your energy, it's like who you are, it's like your vibe, it's just like what makes you cannot be replicated. Somebody can try to dress like you, they can study your Instagram and try to like copy your outfits and like you know, color their hair and what the heck ever, but like at the end of the day, there is nobody like you. There's nobody like you. You're irreplaceable. Spirit, let's get a couple of messages from the person on the collective's mind. These messages are romantic, so this part may or may not resonate for you. I'm letting them go. So some of you may be in a third party situation, but you won't be for long, because this person is letting that situation go. I know I've been selfish and you didn't deserve any of that. There's like I said earlier, there's a feeling of regret and a feeling of guilt that's very, it's very present in this energy. Very, very present. One more message. Whoop. There it went. Little do you know, I think about you a lot. So actually, these aren't romantic. Like some of these aren't, like, take it how it fits. Take it how it fits. This person does think about you a lot. I feel like especially at nighttime when they feel very alone. When they feel very scared, I heard as well. This person may be dealing with some financial issues or financial insecurity right now. And it's freaking them out, and it's like they wish that they could kind of come to you just to talk it through or talk about it. My favorite place is with you. So they really, really miss you. They really, really miss you. I'm going to take the regular Neon Awakening Volume 1 Tarot deck, and I'm just going to grab a couple cards here. What is the person on the collective's mind next action toward them? There is some, I have to be perfectly honest, for those of you who do have somebody romantic on your mind, there is a lot of like intimate, passionate energy present here. This person is definitely thinking about that at this time. That's like coming in very heavy right now. What is their person's next action towards them? Show me. This is a new deck, actually. I love this deck. you all know I've used this deck before, but I wanted to get one that was not going to reflect on the ring light, so that you could see it better on camera. And so I bought a new one, and so I think I'm still kind of breaking it in, and it's still sort of picking up my energy. Temperance. There may be a little bit of a wait, but in terms of waiting for this person to take an action toward you. But I think even more than that, they want to balance out the situation. I feel like they also know that you've been waiting on them. A lot of you have been waiting on them. And they know that. And I feel like they also know that they need to be honest. They need to be honest even if it hurts them, I just heard. Painfully honest. Because yeah, they need to leave something behind. They made like a left turn when they should have gone right, and they are kind of kicking themselves about it. They feel bad. What was it? I know I've been selfish and you didn't deserve any of that. Yeah, like they know. They know. And I feel like they've been known, but for whatever reason, it's like they kind of, maybe like they doubled down, or they didn't know how to get out, or whatever it was. It's like, but now it's like they need to come in with sort of the truth. A confession. Their emotions. Knight of Cups. Because I feel like they've been holding themselves back for like a while. I feel like they've kind of been like teeter-tottering back and forth between saying something and not saying something. And it's like they're at this breaking point. They're at this kind of like point where it needs to shift, or they're gonna miss the boat, is what I just heard. Because you're, ma'am, second time the Empress is out in this reading. I know men watch this reading. I wasn't calling all of you men ma'am, but with this Empress energy, whoever you are, you are abundance. You are the fertile ground on which the seeds of creation flourish and become a full garden. It's like, I feel like you were like God's gift to this person and they didn't acknowledge it. And it's like, they've been trying to like get their, sorry, I try not to swear on these readings, but like they've been trying to get their shit to take off, and it's just been stuck ever since they haven't been around you. It's like they're sitting there looking at dirt that has seeds in it, and the seeds aren't growing, and they're like, what the heck? Why isn't this working? Well, you didn't do what you were supposed to, so they're not growing. You didn't water them. You weren't tending to the right seeds. Like you were putting, I have to be honest with you guys, I'm like not very good at plants. It's like I keep some plants alive, and I always have flowers in my apartment, but like if you told me that like this plant needs peat moss and that plant needs bark in the thing, and I'd be like, sure. So point being, it's like you're doing the wrong soil for the wrong seed, and you've been going against yourself. The path is very clear. The path has the freaking like solar spotlights pointed at the steps, and you've been like, I think I like the dark. Not you, your person. Sorry. But I think that they're like, you know what? I think I tripped like one too many times, and like I have like a black eye and a busted nose and my elbow scraped up, and I'm really ready to like walk on the light path now. They're like, I'm tired of getting my butt kicked. Can I come back? Or at least that's how it, and I don't mean to laugh at your person, but they're emotional. Queen of Cups, they're emotional. It's like, I feel like they just want to like talk to you. They just want to like be around you. They want to smell you. I know it sounds creepy, but you know what I mean. It's like they just want to like be around you. They want to like, I'm not saying they want to like huff your scent. I don't know why that came in, but it's like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they kind of want to like be around you so that when they breathe through their nose, you come through. You know what I mean? Man. You gotta stop. I'm on one. I gotta stop. Yeah, they are. Knight of Cups is here too. Like they're in an emotional energy right now, and I think that's good. I think, especially with knowing that they need to come to you in that King of Swords kind of like hyperlogical energy that can even be like a little cutthroat. It's like, it's good that deep down and inside they have that emotional energy very present, because it's like they need to. The problem is they've been in that King of Swords energy. King of Swords might be a little, that's not true. They've kind of been in like the Page of Swords energy, Knight of Swords. And honestly, with a lot of y'all, they've been in Knight of Wands energy. Just kind of like fuckery. So much for not cursing. But it's like they've been acting from their head or acting without checking in and doing a gut check at all. So it's like they haven't been checking in with their heart at all. And so now it's like, I feel like they've gotten a moment or two by themselves and they're like, oh wow, this feels terrible. I'm not in alignment with my higher self, my lower self, my inner self, my outer self. I'm not in alignment at all. That doesn't feel good. Man, your person, I kind of want to just like offer them like a little glass of ice water and be like, are you okay, man? Like, cause I feel like they're not. And you have to laugh, otherwise you cry, right? So just like when you're missing your person, when you're angry at your person, when you're like punching your pillow and pretending it's your person's face, hopefully not, but just like send them love and then keep it pushing on your own abundance. Keep pouring into your own cup. Keep healing yourself, because I'm telling you, with all this transformational energy coming in, you have enough on your plate. You have enough to worry about, to be fixated on them. You, like, let them do their thing. You know, ask the questions that you need to ask, and hopefully you'll get answers and signs and synchronicities, because those are beautiful. But like, at the end of the day, keep your energy here. Keep it within your bubble. Protect yourself. And yeah, I hope you liked this reading. Please subscribe, please like, please share, please do the YouTube things, and I will see you next time.